Friends, this week, Yale students will be voting on a referendum titled Books, Not Bombs, voting on a resolution to divest from weapons companies after a year's campaign to divest from companies that sell weapons to Israel. Now, in general, Judaism is very, very pro-peace and against wars. The vision of a world that is free of weapons was introduced by Judaism's prophet Isaiah. A nation shall not lift a sword upon a nation, and they shall not learn war anymore. And so the idea of getting away from weapons and investing instead in healthcare and education could not be more Jewish, and that's, of course, something true. However, in this case, the premise of the resolution is not peaceful. The idea is not to make sure there are no weapons, because it was prompted by a year's campaign of making sure that Israel cannot defend itself and thereby not exist. Yes, it's as simple as that. After a year's campaign of advocating for Israel not to be able to defend its citizens, after we've seen people in Yale right after October 7th celebrating the horrors that we all are still traumatized by, then they decided that they're going to launch a campaign under a hypocritical title claiming it's for peace, books not bombs, but in fact it's books and not Israel being able to defend itself. Now, if you want to make sure there are more resources locally, here are my suggestions for Yalees for Palestine and those who want to advocate for more peace. Number one, stop the riots, the rallies, and all the other activities that divert resources away from the police being able to address serious issues and make taxpayers pay for your blocking roads, for your rallies that are not necessary, for your constant drama. One way for police and cities to have more resources is cut the drama. Nobody needs it because you haven't helped a single child in Gaza. Just look at the footage from Gaza. Do you think your rallies from the past year helped anybody? They didn't. That's number one. Number two, very simple. This should have happened on October 8th. Call for the return of the hostages. There are hostages there. Israel has agreed multiple times for a ceasefire to stop the fighting in order to get the hostages back. And so to those who are worried about the people of Gaza, myself included, simple, call for the release of the hostages. Number three, call for Hamas to be disarmed. Very important. And most importantly, make sure, if indeed you want peace and you don't want war, to call on the number one country committing genocide in the Middle East right now, and that is Turkey. There's only one country that is fully outright committing genocide today, and that is Turkey against the Kurds, whether it's in Syria, inside Turkey. That is what you should call out. You should also call out Iran for its genocide against the Jewish people, its attacks on Sunni Muslims, and their constant destabilization of the region. If Iran is sanctioned and does not have money for terrorism, guess what? You will have books and not bombs, because no one will need to defend themselves anymore. Iran has proxy terrorists in Syria, in Syria, in Lebanon, in Yemen, in Jordan, all over the Middle East. Stop Iran and you'll have only books, not bombs. And so with that in mind, if you're voting on this referendum, remember, it's not for peace. It's for Israel not to be able to defend itself, and we should not stand for that.